Today's review is going to be of Cookies and Screams, an indie comic that was out on Kickstarter, and the digitals just came out today with the physicals coming out later. A super fun comic. It's adorable, super cute, family friendly. This would be a perfect comic for young readers, young girls and boys. It just has that Halloween feel. When I read this, I felt like this should have been part one. There's going to be 4 comics in the series. Part one of a Halloween specials. When I was a kid, we would get like Halloween specials would come on and there'd be some random animated story. This could be 4 12-minute episodes that lead up to Halloween, and the final episode would come out the night before Halloween. And it just has that feel of an adventure, Alice in Wonderland. You know, we go to a strange world and you meet strange characters, but it's a lot of fun. There's no real sense of danger or anything, but there's moments where you can see Audie, which is our main character, where she's not stupid because she gets in that first situation. She's like, oh, I better get out of here because she doesn't know what's going on and just, worried about her safety. But as there turns out to be nice people she meets, and it's a lot of fun. And she's kind of an outsider. She has a pet lizard, which is an Argentinian tegu, and they're super cool. And it has a vibe of like Lilo and Stitch, The Worst Witch, things like that, where if any of those things tickle your funny bone of like entertainment, then you're going to totally love Cookies and Scream. But let's jump into the story, and it opens up with some narration and stuff, which is always fun. I love that. The art is fantastic. That's what really, really cements this whole entire comic is the facial expressions and the art. And the way Audie's hair is all kind of crazy and weird, and she wears a witch hat, and it's just fun to look at. Even if you let's say you had like a young kid who wanted to look at the comic, they could just look at it and have fun without not being able to read it. You can follow the story just with the pictures, and I've always said that is something I think every comic book should strive for, because comics is a visual medium. You should be able to tell the story with just pictures. And the colors, it's very fall. It makes you think of Halloween and how the grass is a little not so green. It's just you're getting into that kind of like cold, get a nice sweater, cool stuff. But we open up and they're having their little it's not the Girl Scouts, it's like Sugar Scouts, and this blonde girl's just she's just mean. I don't like mean girls, awful. And then it kind of has that feeling of Wreck-It Ralph, where like all the other racers, I hated Vanellope. It's kind of like that. Like, why do these kids be freaking dogging on Audie? These freaking kids are jerks. But Audie's out buying comics because that's what she does, and comics are awesome. But look at her face right there. It's adorable. Look at her hair. It's crazy. I love it. But she's buying the next issue of Machi, which isn't out yet, so she's from the future. She has a future issue, but she has to go to her meeting, and that I like how they set up like the store owners are like, hey Audie, you should go to your meeting, and she's like trying to like not want to go because she doesn't really like the other girls there, but they're like, come, you got to try to be more personable, try to make friends and stuff, but she kind of doesn't really fit in with these groups of kids, but because she's her own person. She's not gonna like, oh, that girl's cool, so I'm gonna listen to what she says. Audie's gonna do what she likes to do, which is cool. And you can see she has little band-aids and everything on because she probably gets into little scraps and stuff. They make a reference to something that happened last year. We don't find out what that is, but that's pretty cool. But look at this. We got a big old kitty cat. I'm imagining this thing is invisible or uses it's like invisible in the shadows or something. But yeah, look at that. So we're getting some of that spookiness is coming into this world. But she gets to the meeting, and oh my goodness, this blonde haired girl is just awful. But she's nice to the scout leader, which is good, as she's respectful to the adults. But they're like, she's giving them guff and everything about, oh, you're a stupid lizard and everything. Hey, freaking Gus is awesome. He's the coolest dude in the whole entire issue. But I guess they have to sell they're breaking up into groups. They got to sell cookies, and the cookies are sugar free, which I think is really funny because it's not like a concept of kids like, oh, candies and cookies and brownies, everything's super sugary. But this year, I guess they're selling sugar-free stuff, which should be an option, but I guess it's the only thing they have. So they break up into their teams. And of course, Audie gets teamed up with the freaking blonde girl who's just awful, like a million times awful. And I guess whoever sells the most can win a crown. I guess that's like their thing. And here's the thing. It's called the Tulip Tiara of Terrific transactions. I don't know if that is a reference to something. If it isn't, that's awesome. I just love it. I want one of these little crowns. They're so cute. But that one girl's like, oh, I'm going to totally win that crown. But if they split up in teams of 3, do they all get a crown, or is there only one crown? But the other girl's like, don't you already have a whole bunch of them? But she's just awful and she just wants everything. So they got teamed up and they're heading. They're not supposed to separate. I would think you would have an adult with you, but there's just the 3 girls going out, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go get some ice cream, and she's like, no, the teacher told us not the scout leader told us not to do that. But oh yeah, that's a good thing you're not gonna tell. And if you do, like, she's just being awful. I hate this girl so much. Oh my goodness. Not saying I don't want anything bad to happen to this girl, but if something bad happens to her, of course, nothing dangerous. Like, she's the one who becomes like the joke of the troop, let her get a little bit of her own medicine, not for Audie to go out of her way to like cause her, problems, but for her to cause her own problems and getting everyone to see how terrible of a person she is. So they just take off. Both these girls leave Audie by herself, and look at this heartbreaker. But she has a number one buddy. She got a buddy. Gus is like, no, I'm here with you. We can do this together. He can't talk, but she's like, yeah, okay, you and me, we're gonna get this done. And I do like the fact that she's like, yeah, you got to be brave. Brave like how Machi is, and that's cool because that's what comics can do for kids. It's not necessarily always about action and stuff like that. You got to look up to. Some kids don't have heroes in real life, so they look to a comic book and they see a character go through things and struggle and fight and become better and stand up to their fears, and that a kid can do that by reading a comic. So I love that. That's amazing. Look how proud Gus is. Like, yeah, we're gonna go out there and do this. They get to the spooky the house at the top of the hill, and again, these faces, absolutely lovely. I just love them so much. I'm gonna send this comic to my nieces. They're probably gonna love it. They get up to the first house, and look how Gus helps out. He's so cool. I love this guy. But he sees like a bug and he follows it through, and he goes through like the doggy door, and she's like, oh no, you can't go in there. We didn't knock. And okay, Coraline. Yeah, everyone loves Coraline, right? And she ends up in this like magical world with these 2. I don't know what they were. They had pointy ears. So I don't know if they were like elves or if they were, but we see the fangs. Oh, they're vampires. I'm like, oh no, that this can be really bad for Audie, but they're pretty nice. They're like, there's an episode of the Rugrats where, Tommy gets like accidentally picked up by this butler guy, and he brings him home, and these 2 old ladies are like, oh, it's the heir to the family, and they're like these 2 crazy old ladies. They remind me of these 2 are a little more competent, but they're kind of like those old crazy ladies. Oh, let's put a bow on him. Oh, he's so cute. Like they're just, they're in their old lady thing. But then look at Audie. She's like, here, hey, that's my best friend. Get your hands off. I'm like, oh, who's this little one? She's like, oh, I'm here to sell cookies and save my best friend, and I'm all out of best friends. No. So she's brave, and it's her friend. So even though she doesn't know what's going on, it's kind of a scary situation, she's standing up for her friend, which is totally awesome. He's not in any real danger, but she doesn't know that. But these 2 are like, oh, that's nice. Oh, you have cookies. Oh, we should have some tea. And then they turn into bats, which is, awesome. The only thing I can say about the characters here, the coloring, everyone is kind of just a base color in this like the spooky side is this other world that she got into. So like they're all pink or blue. Then she meets some other characters. They're all just like one color. I guess it works. It would have been kind of cool for them to have a little more depth to their color palette, but it's all right. But I do like that she saw them turn into bats, and then look at her face like, okay, let's get out of here. We gotta go. But they're like, oh no, you're leaving so soon. And they're just like acting like everything's normal. Like, oh, that's very rude. But she's like, oh no, the pet door was open, but I guess that's how that cat got out. And we see the picture, that giant cat is this cat. So I guess he or she opened up that portal, and that allowed them to go through. So, okay, there we go. There's your mystical how this all happened. And look at this face. Again, I'm going to say that like a million times. Look at this face. But she's like, oh, yeah, better get going then. But they're like, oh, that's very rude of you to leave. But she's like, oh, ladies, I got to sell all these cookies and I got to go. And she explains to them that they're sugar-free. And I guess that's a big like point of the whole comic is the fact that these cookies are sugar-free. And look at all this. She can win all these merit badges. She kind of just explains her whole situation to them. And I guess they say that every house in the regular world has a spooky side house. So like the map that she had turned into this map for the spooky side. And it's like, I guess they even explain, oh, things work oddly here. Ha ha ha, her name's Audie. But they kind of give her like, hey, you go to this house, these houses, you'll be able to sell all these cookies because that sugar-free stuff's going to be really, really good here. People are going to love it. And, you know, she goes, hey, I lost my teeth. If you come and run into a werewolf pup, let them know, hey, get my teeth back. She's like, okay, go out there. Going to sell cookies. Going to get to find those teeth. But look at this world. The human world looked kind of dreary and dark. Not necessarily like scary or anything, but like it was fall time. But look how beautiful. It looks like freaking Candyland. But like I said, like all these, like, I guess there's some ghosts having a picnic. And they're like oldie time people. So I guess they died a long time ago. But everyone's like a base color. I wonder why that is. I don't know. But they're having a little tea party. And she's like, oh, wow, this is so cool. Who says bee's knees? But again, look at that face. And she goes and is like, okay, let's get ready. See, I like the fact that she wasn't like 100% like, let's do this. She's still a little nervous, but she gets her bearings. And when she starts doing her thing and she gets more comfortable with it, I like that, where she just wasn't perfect right away. So she gets in her cart. She rides it down there. And she's like, okay, I can sell these cookies, you know, check this out. Goes up to them, hey, you know, I saw your tea party here, you know, great with teas, and, you know, I'm selling cookies. And they're like, oh, we already have enough sweets. Like, oh, that's good because these aren't really sweets. They're sugar-free. And I guess they've never heard of that. So they're just willing to try it just because it's different. I wished the art on the boxes had the actual pictures, because I guess there's all the cookies do have artwork, and they're going to be on the pins and stuff. If you back the physical pin level on the Kickstarter, you get the pins. But yeah, like they're just blank. Like, come on, I want to see the pictures of the actual cookies on the boxes. But he tries it, he loves it. So once one person loved it, the other people want to try it. Then she sells a whole bunch of these things, which is awesome because she's just like this lovable little girl, and she tries her best. She's selling a bunch of cookies, and they give her like, I like this, gems and stuff. I'm wondering what happens with this when she goes back to the real world. Is that going to stay gold and like diamonds or like rubies and all that kind of stuff? I'm wondering if it's going to change into something that's not money or not valuable. And then she basically gave away all these cookies without actually selling them. Because normally what you would do is you would like take an order and then you would deliver the order. That's how they do it with my nephews in their school. But I don't know how this is working. She just collects the money, which is dangerous for a kid to carry a bunch of money like that. But so she sells a whole bunch of them. Look at this high five. I want to give Gus a high five. That's amazing. But she's like, okay, time to go get those, got to get those teeth back. But she look at this little mischievous, nice, like, you know what, maybe I can sell cookies on my way there. I can sell cookies, get the teeth, boom, do everything. Sells a whole bunch more, shows her going all around. I like this little transition here. And I'm wondering if everyone's paying her in like gold and stuff, which is interesting because you see this witch lady. Did she sell her a potion? Is that what she did? Did she just like barter? I'm hoping she doesn't get in trouble with not getting real money or not getting actual something that can be used. I don't know. I just feel like something bad's going to happen because it's going too good. But she makes it to the last house and boom, enter the thing, big werewolf guy. And she's like, oh no. So fun, interesting. I love it. It's just a lot of fun. The art, again, sells the whole entire comic because the story is, it's kind of basic, but you fall in love with Audie, you fall in love with Gus. They're a good friendship, and that's what carries you through, and all her facial expressions, and her hair is all crazy, and I just absolutely love it. But yeah, end up issue 1. I guess they're working issue 2 kind of right now, so it's gonna be I guess I don't know if they're doing another Kickstarter or if it's gonna be just sold through the publisher, which is Rockets Publishing. I don't know if you can buy it now, but I do know they're going to have it to where you can be able to buy it online or in stores at their comic, because they have a whole bunch of different comic shops. But yeah, super fun. Definitely get it. It's good for all kids and for kids at heart. Definitely young readers, young girls, young boys. You want to get them like a fun a Halloween story that where the monsters aren't too scary, and it's kind of like Coraline but not as scary. But yeah, if you have little ones that like that, they're definitely gonna love this. Audie's just instantly lovable. She's kind, she's generous, and she's just a super fun character. But yeah, definitely in for the full ride. 4 issues, gonna get them all at least digitally, and yeah, super fun. Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.